Look at all the colors.
Okay, we're going. What are we talking about?
Whatever.
Okay.
Go.
That doesn't make any sense.
Rock Band.
Okay, I guess I'm going to talk about Rock Band since I'm the only one that played it. This year we got the third entry in the Rock Band series, and this is going to be quick because it's pretty much Rock Band 2, but it has keyboards.
Yeah.
I
Replace the bass.
was really excited for it, and I spent far too much money on this game. And I mean, it's the same game that everybody's used to. It adds these keyboards, and the keyboards are actually really fun. It's really fun to play on pro mode, even though it's really hard. And I'm really excited about that because it can actually teach you how to play stuff. The only problem is I don't have the guitar that teaches you how to actually play guitar because it's like $200, and I'm not going to pay $200 for a plastic guitar when I could just buy a real one. So I didn't look into that, so if you guys are out there, then by all means leave a comment telling me if it's awesome or not. But I think Harmonix is doing a great thing on the Wii because the Rock Band channel that you could download all the music from is enormous, and I'm really glad that they've taken the time to put that on the Wii because the Wii has never been a good online console, and the fact that I can log on to the Rock Band store and buy, whatever songs I want really means a lot because that was something that I was really jealous when the first one came out that the other two had, and now we pretty much have every song on the Wii that all the other ones have, and that's something really exciting. But the main reason you should look into Rock Band 3 if you ever plan to is because you can play Bohemian Rhapsody in it. That's the only reason. That's the best reason. So Rock Band 3...
I see a little silhouette of hat.
Rock Band 3, it's one of my all-time favorites on the Wii, one of my favorite games, but I'm the only one still playing music games, and there's not much to say because it's another music game. So if you played one, you've played them all. So let's move on to something else.
Sonic Colors?
Sure, there's 3 Sonic games came out this year.
Yeah.
We
can talk about any of them. You guys.
Let's just talk about all of them. Let's start with Colors. I have the DS version, Ricky has the Wii version, and Josh has.
And I have the Wii version.
I haven't got very far on the Wii version. I think it's pretty good. I think it's definitely better than any of the other Sonic games that have come out so far. Well, not so far, but in the past while, because they've been on kind of a bad streak lately. And I think Sonic Colors is absolutely a step in the right direction. It's pretty fun. The level design is pretty good. So far,
the fact that it just wants to be Galaxy.
I haven't got very far. Yeah, I mean, it's all this orchestral music, and it's in space, and it's totally trying to be Mario Galaxy, which I don't blame them for. I think that, I haven't got very far, so I might be completely off base about everything I'm saying. But I think the fact that they're just focusing on Sonic and Tails and Eggman again is pretty awesome. There's all these new power-ups that you can get, and that's kind of a cool idea. But I don't think that they're definitely not as gimmicky as being a werewolf or having a sword or having 3 people or having a gun or any of that stuff. It's basically
it's a new
do
power.
A crazy super attack. Yeah, burrow underground for
do a barrel
seconds.
roll.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Mario. Well, not really, but
it's kind of like Mario
like
Galaxy.
A power up. No, well, where you get power ups and for a couple seconds. I only played like a couple of minutes of it, so I don't really have much to say about it, other than I like the voice actors better than.
Yeah, I'm glad that they changed the voice actors, but I'm more glad that they didn't change Eggman's.
Yeah.
Mike Pollock was the only good one left over from 4Kids, and he does a great Eggman, and I think it's good that they were smart enough to realize that.
Hooray!
It's gotten good reviews so far.
To the DS one,
really excited.
I felt like it was a nice evolution on the Sonic Rush style of Sonic. I really love Sonic Rush.
Sonic Rush.
But Adventure didn't really do it for me. The sequel to Sonic Rush.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
But Sonic Colors, man, really into it.
Yeah, Sonic Colors for
That's
the
how
DS.
it should be.
Sonic Colors for the DS is an awesome game. It's completely different from the Wii version. First of all, it's a side-scroller on the level of Sonic Rush, and I think Sonic Rush is a fantastic game. It's really overlooked because of the fact that Sonic has just had so many bad games in recent years that people just don't seem to notice whenever there happens to be a good one. And I feel like Sonic Rush is one of the best DS games, and people just didn't pay attention to it. And I hope that people pay attention to Sonic Colors, because it's made by the same people, and it plays a lot like the first Sonic Rush, but it has the whiffs, so you have different powers, and you could do different things. I'm not very far in it. I'm only in, like, World 2, maybe. I just beat the boss for World 2, because I just got this game literally 3 days ago. So, I'm not very far, but I just got one that turns you into a rocket for some reason. So, Sonic becomes a rocket, and, like, you blast through certain areas, and that's fun, and it adds to it. And it really feels like an old-school Sonic game, because it's got a great sense of speed, and the levels are huge, and there's a lot of different routes you can take and different places to go, and it really harkens back to what made the 16-bit Sonic era the best Sonic era. And I think it's a good alternative to the Wii one, but I still want the Wii one. I still want to check that one out. But Sonic Colors wasn't the only Sonic game to come out this year.
There's also Sonic 4, which I haven't even played. So
Sonic 4 came out.
You guys had friends.
Yeah, I reviewed it. So this will be brief. I already said everything I needed to say in my review. I think it's a good return to form for the Sonic games. It's not perfect. There's some physics problems that I noticed. A lot of people have noticed. It's really short, and there's a lot of the bosses are kind of recycled, and there's a running boss, and I hate running bosses.
Oh, that was the worst. That is the worst part about Sonic 4.
Yeah, the running boss had me so many times. I lost so many times to that boss. But it's a good foreshadowing for things to come, and I really look forward to Episode 2, because first of all, Episode 2 hasn't even been announced yet, so Sega hopefully is really taking into account what people have said about Sonic 4, so that they can make Episode 2 as best as they can. Mm-hmm. And I look forward to that, and I hope that it's the Sonic game that we've wanted for, 10 years. Josh, you played it too, right?
Yeah, it was a good game. I mean, I didn't like how they recycled the bosses, like you said, and the running boss really, made me not want to beat it a second time.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even get all the Chaos Emeralds, because I didn't really like those bonus stages either.
Yeah, the bonus stages are kind of crap.
Yeah. It's not as bad as some people say it is.
This has definitely been a good year for Sonic, because Sonic 4 might not have been the home run that everybody wanted it to, but it was definitely better than, let's say, Sonic 06 and Sonic and the Secret Rings.
Sonic Unleashed.
Sonic Unleashed, it's a step in the right direction, and I think even if it's just baby steps, that's more than I could ever hope for the Sonic series, and I really hope that it goes further. But
Sonic.
Yeah.
And the Olympics again.
Yeah, Sonic and more Olympics. There was also a Sonic racing game this year.
Oh, hey, yeah. I actually really enjoyed Sonic and Sega All-Stars.
This is a good year for Mario Kart ripoffs. Because there's 2 of them that I got this year that I really enjoyed. And Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing, I actually played for a long time. It's a really good alternative to Mario Kart. I mean, obviously, it's not Mario Kart. But it's as good of a ripoff as you can get, pretty much.
Yeah, well, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I actually was kind of surprised. I mean, I wanted to get it. I was interested in it. I thought it looked like it might be fun, but it was, and I was really impressed. I mean,
Rio.
You could play as Rio. I mean, that's awesome, and you could play as
the Bonanza Brothers.
A bunch of other characters that I am blanking on.
What's his name from
Hatcher or something?
You can play
Billy
as
Hatcher. Oh my God, Billy Hatcher.
Zobio and Sobiko.
From the game that was on the HP.
Yeah. But anyway, I was really impressed with that. It's not a masterpiece, but it's pretty fun.
Billy Hatcher. Oh my God. I love Hatcher. That's Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing is a good game. Good Mario Kart ripoff. Mod Nation Racer also came out for the PS3. One of the only reasons I wanted a PS3. And that game is a lot of fun. There's so much customization in it, and You can customize characters, you can customize tracks, you can download other people's tracks. It's got a great sense of humor, and there are a lot of things in it that I really enjoyed. Mario Kart is one of my all-time favorite series, and I really think Nintendo should look at what Mod Nation Racer did with the customization options and really think about bringing that to another Mario Kart game. I would love to be able to make my own tracks in the next Mario Kart game. That would be really cool. And share them with people, that would be awesome. That's what I want. I want Nintendo to say, Mod Nation Racer is an awesome game. We want to be a little bit like that. They borrowed from us. Let's borrow from them. But that's all I have to say about that one. So, who's next?
Have we said Mod Nation?
Yep.
I just did.
Way to pay attention.
Have we said Scott Pilgrim?
No, we haven't.
No, although we did a review of Scott Pilgrim. We all really enjoyed it. I love seeing the return to old school beat 'em ups. That was just awesome.
And it's a shame it's not on the Wii.
Yeah, should have been on the Wii.
Is that the second time we've said that this podcast now?
Yeah, everything should be on the Wii. Peace Walker should be on the Wii.
WarioWare DIY.
Oh, I just want to talk about WarioWare really quick. If you are getting WarioWare DIY as like to play more micro games, I would not recommend it because they're all just tap based because they're all built with the interface that you're given. But if you're getting it because you're interested in the idea of like checking out the ability to make your own micro games, I would absolutely recommend it because I had so much fun trying to make micro games. It's a fun little challenge being like, how can I do this, with these tools? And the tools that they give you are simple and they're easy to understand, but they're really kind of shockingly
Simple,
deep if you really, if you try to get into it and just really try to challenge yourself, you'll be really impressed with what you can do with it. And it takes a lot of time and a lot of patience, and that might not be for some of you. But I really enjoyed it for what it was. And if you haven't checked it out, I would say at least rent it, make a few mini games, have fun with it.
I actually don't think it's sold all that well because a lot of places are selling it for cheaper now than it was when it came out.
Maybe you could do that then.
Buy it for cheaper. Help it sell. What else do we have on this list? GoldenEye. You guys talk about that.
I think GoldenEye is still on
Talk
here.
about that.
Oh, yeah.
I really didn't like what they did with the single player and, the Call of Duty style gameplay for the classic controller. Like, one of my main gripes with the main story is how they changed a bunch of the characters to these completely different people. Like, Valentine was this big fat guy in the movie and the original game. Instead now, and he had a limp, which Bond gave him. In this one, he's this skinny, kind of cool club-going guy. He wears and has a scar that Bond gave him, and he immediately dies. So he really doesn't play a role. But, other than that, the multiplayer is awesome. And, yeah, Ricky, go.
Well, I just want to say I haven't checked out the single player yet, in part because I have so many other games to play.
Why? You're not buying GoldenEye for the single player.
But also because I did not buy it at all to play the single player mode. I bought it for multiplayer. And, I was playing it with my dad a little bit after I got it for Christmas, and I think the multiplayer is a blast,
Yeah.
I have to check out the classic controller because I wasn't too thrilled with just like point at the screen Wiimote controls, but I still had fun even with that. And I'm sure I'm not a big shooter guy, so I'm sure there are much better first-person shooters that have much better multiplayer for the Wii, but in none of them can you throw Oddjob's hat at somebody. So for me, that automatically means that GoldenEye wins. Maybe that's just me. But, I had a blast. I picked the missile launcher, and I was blowing him up with my 2 shots of ammo that I had. And then he killed me, and he stole my missile launcher, and he blew me up with it. And we would laugh. I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed, in fact, that on any of the maps that we tried out, there doesn't seem to be, like, other guns laying around that you can pick up and use. Maybe there's a setting for that I haven't found. I couldn't find
No.
any. I think that's really stupid and disappointing that you only get the 2 weapons that you start with.
There's no gold gun?
I know that you can pick which weapons that you start with, but still half of the fun of the N64 game was finding weapons lying around and using them and being the first one to find them and
Finding
kicking
the golden
ass for
gun.
them. Yeah, exactly. You found the golden gun in the N64 game, you won. And there's not really anything like that now, and I'm disappointed.
I was a
But
troll.
I
in
think-
I was a troll in the Nintendo 64 one. I would just find the golden gun and stand next to where it spawned, and just nobody would ever get past it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Plus,
Once I
there's
found
no
it,
bathroom in a faculty for multiplayer.
Yeah, what is that? Why can't you explore the bathrooms? That was the best thing about the N64 game. Anyway,
really, that's the
I
best.
I got it as a gift for Christmas, so I can't say if I'm not sure if it would be worth the price for a brand new Wii game. In fact, I kind of doubt it would. But
Yeah.
I've had a lot of fun with it, so I don't know.
I was only going to buy it because it was on sale at Kmart last week for $29.99, but then when I went to the store, it wasn't there, sold out. So, guess
Well,
I'll
that's
wait for
why.
the price to drop.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but this game's really only good for the multiplayer. Like, well, obviously, it's GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody wanted it for the story. Oh yeah,
I did,
they got
but-
Daniel Craig. That's awesome. Nobody cares. I want to play multiplayer online.
Also, they should have had unlockables. Well, more than that you could type in.
DK mode.
Yeah, DK mode should.
Big head.
Big head mode
NBA
still
Jam?
exists.
What? Another
But, yeah.
remake that I didn't play. Oops. Okay. Yeah.
I like
So-
GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Did you?
Well, I mean, like, I like the single player. They kind of made it too like Call of Duty, though. Like,
hmm
that's the thing for console first-person shooters right now. It has to be like Call of Duty or Halo or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, also it's made by Activision, so
Yeah,
Did you play
but
Black Ops on the Wii, Don? Did they play?
yeah, I did. They like released like within a day of each other.
So obviously Black Ops. Even though the Wii
Yeah.
version got no advertising, I don't remember them ever mentioning that there was a Wii version.
Yeah, definitely. I forgot about that. They didn't mention there was a Wii version.
They just
So-
kind of released it.
Well, like Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare Reflex, the Wii version of COD4, like sold really well without any advertising whatsoever. So I guess they were like, we don't need advertising.
That's stupid.
It'll save us money, so we can get more money.
sounds like a plan to
I
me.
kind of hate Activision, but that's not why.
Because they stole Guitar Hero from Harmonix. Is that why you hate them?
Maybe. They milked it to death, and they're just a greedy, greedy company. That's all. That's all. But anyway, does anybody else have any other games they wanted to mention before we go on to the big gun? Big gung-ho of the year?
Let's see.
Don, you
I can't
play
think of
more games than anybody else in this call.
I played Fallout New Vegas. That was pretty fun.
Stiff.
I watched you play that a lot. I was shocked at how bad it looked.
That's the thing with Bethesda games. They're terrible at animating. It's just off. They're terrible. But it's like it's nice.
Yeah, I'll be the
Fun
first one to
game.
admit that graphics are like the least important aspect of a game. I was just shocked that I know the Fallout series is hugely popular, and I was shocked that today's gaming market, who is so obsessed with graphics, was so into Fallout. I was like, wow, this game must be really good if people are playing it in this day and age,
Yeah.
because it looks terrible.
Yeah, Fallout 3 won Game of the Year everywhere, and the graphics are
Not
very
Red
good.
Dead Redemption? I thought Red Dead Redemption won
Fallout
everything.
3 came out
Free.
the year before.
Before it, yeah.
Oh.
Red Dead Redemption has pretty much won everything.
It's a good game.
I'm sure.
That's all.
It's-
But I haven't played
it's
it completely.
Grand Theft
I've only
Auto.
played it. Hey,
But in the Wild
it's Grand
West,
Theft Auto with a good story.
Yeah.
Who cares about playing as Nico in GTA 4? Nobody does.
He's right.
He's not wrong. He's right.
CJ from San Andreas. That guy was cool.
He's a pimp.
Nobody played that game. I'm
I
just
played
kidding.
Everybody played that game. Wasn't that
I
like the
love that
best-selling Grand Theft Auto game? Who are you?
I mean, like, nobody here played that game.
Oh, no. Well, no.
I love that game.
Thank you, Josh. We love being black guys.
Beating the crap out of people with dildos.
Plus, he's black.
That's Dead Rising 2.
Okay, this is taking a dark turn.
I think.
Also...
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Don, you haven't done
Rick.
much. Go.
Oh, I was just gonna talk about how, like, StarCraft 2 is, like, my game of the year. Like, I played Brood War, StarCraft Brood War, the original. Original, and, like, as a kid, and I was, like, really into it, and it was never really good. But, and, eventually I went back to it when I found out, like, the sequel came out. Or is going to come out. Like, they announced it. So I was really hyped for the StarCraft 2, and eventually I got into the beta, StarCraft 2 beta, and played the crap out of it. It's just, I've really enjoyed it. And when it finally came out, like, I was able to play the single player. The beta was only for, like, the multiplayer. The multiplayer is what you go for.
Right.
Like, it's what you mainly go for, but the single player was also pretty good. Like, the story was pretty decent. Like, it's kind of like a movie kind of story, and I enjoyed that for what it was. So, it's kind of like my game of the year.
That's cool, dude.
That's cool.
I really, like, play it every day with my friends.
I know. He used to try to get me to stay up until like 3 in the morning to watch other people play it, and I'm like, dude, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm also, like, really into, like, the competitive scene with it, so I watch a lot of streams.
Kind
and
of
stuff.
like us in Pokemon.
Yeah.
Don's a man, and we're little 13-year-olds.
Alright, go on, Ricky. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, I think that we're going to devote a lot of time to Mario Galaxy 2, so I think that we should take another break before we talk about it.
All right.